What's
Yes.
up, man?
What's going on, dude?
What's up, man?
Hey,
What's up? What's up? What's up?
hey.
What's up? What's up?
I
What's
was.
up?
I thought you were gonna work on your macho voice for 223, and it's coming out pretty good. That was good. Try that again, man. That was awesome. You.
What's up?
Oh, whoa!
It's my
I'm not even wearing
hey now.
panties, and they got wet. I don't. I don't know how you did that. That's all right.
So we've always kind of liked these sort of independent, smaller rappers a
We're
little bit.
independents ourselves in
Yeah, yeah,
spirit and
yeah.
idea. So yeah, we lean
In
towards that, but
hearts,
we're
it's
not
it's
we're not
it's
objective to the big guy exactly.
no,
But
no.
we do. If
So
an indie has some heart, we're there for it.
so MURS is a rapper that is unknown, relatively unknown. He actually, all right. So I don't know if you ever heard of a channel called Hip Hop DX.
No, D as in like
No,
dog.
yeah, dog,
DX.
and X as in
X as in X-Lax.
xylophone, I guess.
Xylophone's a good one.
It's a
Xylophone's a
music
great one.
instrument. Yeah,
Xenophobia.
yeah, that too, right? I mean, there's some X words, X Men, haha. But yeah,
That's good,
right?
right?
Yeah. So anyhow, actually, it's an interesting factoid because Christmas is relatively recent in this video. Do you know like X and Xmas, right?
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
slang
So
way of writing Christmas. I
no, it's actually not as slang as you might think, right? Because people say, oh, it's Xmas, so you don't have to say Christmas and
Yeah,
Christ,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I thought it was just
But
like
it actually
shorthand.
comes. But no, no, X actually comes from a Greek word that I can't pronounce. So
Is it
Xmas
illegal?
actually, no, it's a Greek word that means Christ.
Oh, okay, so it's a real word. Can't.
Really?
It's super hard to
Yeah.
pronounce.
Well, I can't pronounce anything in Greek,
Yeah,
right?
half of things in English too. But let's
Yeah, that's
continue.
true. That's true. So anyhow, so like actually Xmas has been used throughout the centuries in the English language, but it actually is derived from a Greek word that means Christ. So when you write Xmas, you're actually writing Christmas in shorthand.
I'll be damned, man. That is something. It actually is slangy ass shorthand for a dumb American, but it's actual real shorthand in proper English or whatever.
In proper old
Old
English
English.
going back
How about
centuries,
that? That's a weird one where that actually
I
lines up
tell
like
you.
that. Because we would have done that anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Right, right,
all
right.
right.
I know, because we're dumbass Americans who can't
No,
speak
we're in
English.
super. Listen, rest of the world, we're super smarter than you, because we think we use less letters to say the same amount of stuff. Think of how genius that
Exactly.
is. You
This
know,
freaking genius. Yeah, yeah.
Christmas. Who's got time for
Christmas?
that shit? Xmas,
Happy
bro.
Xmas.
Xmas,
Exactly.
man.
Exactly. So, anyhow, MERS, right? So, Hip Hop DX, he was actually a host on there. And I'll tell you, if there's one episode you got to watch, he's got to watch In Defense of Mumble Rap.
Oh my
Like the
god.
way he describes it and talks about it is pure genius. And I'm like, you know what? I may not like mumble rap per se, but I understand and appreciate his point. And then he also talks about, other topics that are,
So you're saying
really
he's a far
interesting.
more interesting watch than us? Everyone should go check out their
I mean,
channel. Never come
I mean,
back.
they have like
That's hey, I'm
they
okay
have
with
like
that. If
a
it's just true, it's true.
I mean
Okay.
they have more than 500 subscribers, so yeah, I
They
guess
have
there's something to
more.
there. More than
That's holy
But
shit. No, but that's
but
interesting. Please.
so he was really smart. He talked about hip hop and a lot of like very intelligent approach. You could tell he's a real student of the genre,
Yeah.
right? So, but anyway, this song here is a song called Everything. It's from an album, MURS for President. But
God,
I
sorry.
always try to drop it in my set. Everybody like always appreciated the track, and it's really hard to mix in though. You'll understand
Well,
why
I
at the
will.
beginning.
Yeah, I know enough
Yeah,
about that to see if it's true or not, or how
Yeah,
hard it
yeah,
would be, rather. So, all
yeah,
right, tell
yeah.
me before we listen, what's our time frame? I mean, obviously Murs is on the show lately, and he's talking mumble rap. He's obviously a sort of current guy, but when do you think this album or this song came from? What's its era?
2008.
28. Okay, that's an interesting
Yeah,
turn,
right.
of
Well, what's funny about this album is that it was released under Warner Brothers, and it's the only album that was released under a major label. He's actually got quite like a lot of albums.
his
You know,
only
so he's
album on a
mostly
major.
yeah.
All right, let's dig into it, man. Let's dig into him. Let's give a
All right, yeah,
taste.
yeah, I like this track. It's a good
All
track.
right, let's do it.
1, 2. She was only
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now, just
Oh
saying.
God, I
Yeah,
already,
already, and it might be the
already.
only time.
Okay.
All right, but that dun 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 1 2 ready. That's what is that MF Doom? Is that Jay Z? Is that everybody? Is this everybody use this, or is this somehow
Uh,
actually just from this track? Because that's a very famous
no.
opening right here.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much just like, hey, someone invented it. Nobody remembers who,
Right.
but
A bunch of
everybody's
people
uses it.
use it a little bit or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay. All
yeah.
right.
A little glitch there at the beginning. And one, two, three,
Right.
four. I mean, come on, friggin' drummer. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's like
There
one,
it
two,
is.
1, 2.
right?
She was only 15 in love with bad R&B.
That
She
sounds
had to
like
have
MF
vision
Doom.
'cause she saw the star in me. Encouraged me to write about the drama in my life. To most I seemed strange, like something wasn't right. I used to fall a victim to the lunchroom comedian. Something like an outcast. Started smoking weed and then
I gotta just pause here. You know why? I'm excited. It's man. We just need more cats just talking, and the raps just telling a story, man. Tell us about your
Mm-hmm.
fucking high school walk from one class to the other. You know, there's shit in there that's so just so real and you can't fake. You know, you can't. It's
Yeah.
not like a hustle. You know, like give us some real. This is just a little tiny taste of real, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember how delicious that was to actually get
Right.
something more than just a front. And I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
complaining a little bit, and we'll get to the modern day good shit, but we do, we have to suss it out. It hasn't been the anyway. This is I just feel like I would put this on to a group of 7th or 8th graders that wanted to go into music or hip hop or something. I'd have them listen to this because already it
Mhm.
sounds good and it's coming from some real shit and
encouraged me
not
to write
even
about
fake
the
shit.
drama in my life. To most I seemed strange, like something wasn't right. I used to fall a victim to the lunchroom comedian. Something like an outcast. Started smoking weed and then I sort of fell into my own. Kinda felt at home when behind the microphone, but on the bus ride home, that didn't mean a thing. Harassed by the thugs on the corners, they would hang. I got banged on, I got beat down, carrying a golf club, walking up the street now. They respect me, they call me crazy. At least I'm not getting punked out on the daily. And when I look back, I wouldn't change a thing at all. Why you think I found this strength that I'm speaking to y'all? Your hopes and your dreams and your hate and your lies.
So I'm familiar with this song now because of this chorus. I know this
Oh,
really
okay.
well, and the opening now it all adds up. So this was some sort of hit that even I heard of at that time. Is
Oh,
that
nice.
not?
Okay.
I want to say that's like. Oh, he was in the band like Small Faces and had a great long solo career. It feel like that's he's a great rocker in the '70s and on with many standalone albums of great success. It sounds too much like him. Um,
Hmm.
Here, I'll tell you, I can. Mm,
Small
mm.
faces.
I'm trying to think. Rod Stewart.
Oh, wait, what? What does that have to do with?
I feel like
Wait.
that's
I'm
Rod
scared.
Stewart in the chorus, singing the chorus. but I don't know.
Oh.
Let me back up and we'll just play.
Your hopes and your dreams and your hate and your lies. From the old and the wise to the young as they fly. When I die, God is love and hating is Satan. Zen type patience got me sitting here waiting. On the day when it's okay to love, when black men won't pretend that they are thugs, when teachers and doctors are treated like celebrities, you can get a job even if you got a felony. Check out my melody, let's live in harmony, we in this together, no man has autonomy, no man is an island immune to the violence. This rap race is no place to raise a talent. What's wrong with smiling? What's wrong with peace? What's wrong with squashing beef before they label you deceased? Swallow your pride before you choke on your issue.
This is the tough part when you're reacting to music or something. For me, it's like this is because there's real stakes. You know, there's real stakes at times with the music. Some of the musicians, the life they're living and stuff, you know, could get serious out there for them. And I'm like, this guy's positive, but there's like he's also he doesn't carry the stick that we're all so attracted to in a song, that bad motherfucker, you know. He's like a nice guy. He's a nice guy, so he gets the pop treatment, and he gets the you know, the nice sweet you know, chorus and stuff like that, and it's great and it works. But there is a part of me is like, why as humans do we like the guy who's like, let's get together, come on, be full of love, you know, and all this. Why is that guy? Everyone just goes, shut the fuck up, man. You know, at some point we put up with him for only so long, and then it's like, yeah, all right, get to the side. Now I want to hear some fucking banger, you know. It's just so weird and unfair, but I salute this guy.
So you brought up the Rod Stewart
Yeah,
thing.
I don't think it's him, actually, but...
But I just looked it up, and James Blunt actually has writing credit on here, so maybe that's him.
Yeah,
singing?
I can't recall who that is. James Blunt.
Some singer-songwriter.
If he is, then it probably is him. You know what I mean? It probably is him.
Yeah.
Because it sounded, all of a sudden, it sounded just too young to be his. But, all right.
Yeah, Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart was a badass, but he was probably way too old already by then.
Peace. What's wrong with squashing beef before they label you deceased? Swallow your pride before you choke on your issues. I know you
do
got
need to
family
celebrate
and
these
folks
good-
that'll miss you.
good men,
So don't
good
misuse
rappers.
this gift you've been given. This life's but a dream we are blessed to be living. Your hopes and your dreams and your hate and your lies. From the old and the wise to the young as they fly. When I die. And basically, man, I'm just a dude that tries to do right. You know, I try to make my tomorrows better than my yesterdays, without hurting anyone else in the process. Cause if you leave the world a better place than it was when you got here, then we all win. Now there's birth and there's death, but the space in between is where the journey takes place, and you give it all meaning. It's waiting on us all, there's no need to pretend. No freedom in the feeling where you fearing the end. All good things come to it, walk, don't run to it. Times you wanna end it all yourself, don't do it. Be original, be different, be the one to stand up and shock this system. Your hopes and your dreams and your hate and your lies. From the old and the wise to the young as they fly. When I die, I'll take everything. In this life, I'll join everyone. 'Cause all men die.
Woo! I'm not sure where it belongs, but I'm glad it's. I believe it has a place.
Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, it's one of those weird tracks. You're like, wait, why old men die? What? Why?
Yeah,
What?
because it
What? Why did
sounds
that?
so
Why did that have to
youthful.
come?
It's like trying to be like
Mm,
positive to kids. And then it's like, but all old men die. It's like, wait a minute. How do you end with that? But
yeah, yeah.
here's my general question. Where does this fit in? Where do you get to sneak this in for the kids? This should be like a preteen type thing where it would be awesome if they had this kind of positivity going into their teenage years or something like that.
Well, I think that there's like, at least, I mean, for me, whenever I think about like a set, right, there's always a point where people aren't listening as much, right? Like at the beginning, people are going to be listening a lot more, but then there gets to a point where it's like, all right, well, people just want to hear a groove. This isn't like
Understood, yeah.
you're introducing it to a banger. You're just kind of like in the middle of like this sort of like groove area where people are just kind of like there and they're like still listening, but they're not like really listening, and then you kind of like can kind of like you're just kind of riding through the moment, right? And for me, that's kind of like what this track really. It was kind of like always like an early middle area. You know what I mean? It wasn't
Well,
like definitely don't want to put it
you're
at the
talking
end. You don't
about
put it at the
setting it in
beginning,
your own show. I was talking
right?
about
And
where
so
in the lifespan of a child to an adult, like what are the years in which this would be a good listen for what I would think is a youngster, like before you get all into your
uh,
shit in as a high schooler.
yeah, I mean, it's probably like a early 20s. You have
I
James
guess there's
Blunt.
that too.
Of
So
course,
you
they want
can
to
kind
hear
of like
about.
those. Yeah, you go. Yeah, okay. As far
It's
as
just sort of like,
mixing,
it's just sort of,
mixing in that
yeah,
it really the only thing I got is the dun dun dun. You just get in or out on that, and all you can have is
yeah,
there's really no verse that really would play. I think in your mix, and but a little bit of that chorus, him going
mm,
into it, just a few lines in or out, but then try and hit the
right,
dun dun. And you're in your own thing, but I imagine that's a
right. I
challenge
mean,
to work with, but I could see why
yeah.
your fans would like it when it drops in.
I mean, I think like as far as like what you're saying about lifespan, I mean, it's like, okay, you can still be nostalgic for your she's only 17 when you're like 22,
Yeah,
right?
but
For someone like us, we're not, and then like, oh, old men die. Well, that's something like in your early 20s you think about all the
it's
time,
true. It's a
So like,
20-something-year-old song, but here's the thing: I just know the kids listen to everything, and I'm like,
yeah, yeah,
it would be awesome if somehow before kids became unruly teenagers and tried everything and all that, that they would hear something like this. It would be cool if, you
mm,
know, just by dumb luck had Queen. I absolutely loved Queen in that 10, 11, 12 years
mm,
old, that last of innocence. I had this great singer.
right.
I had no, you know what I mean? It was something very positive for me to have had. I would think that music like this would be real positive for whomever might have had that at 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, I could
And
definitely
I
see that.
definitely see
I
it
could see
being
that.
popular in the 20-year-olds for sure. That's
Hmm.
college
Hmm.
radio. Girls would love that. Da, da, da. It's a good little track. Um, Very
Yeah,
cool,
yeah.
man. That's a good one. So, can we hear more from Murs? Is he got something more modern day, or what's his sitch? We'll look
I
into
could
him. We'll
probably
look into
try.
him.
I feel like somebody's gonna come around and be like, "Yeah, you got
Well,
to
there's
check
no
out this
way this
track,"
is
and be
the
like,
best
"Dave,
song he's done, according to somebody.
listen." Exactly. I mean, there's like he's got like 10
Yeah,
albums.
that's
I haven't
right.
listened to them all, so what the fuck am
No,
I
I
gonna
don't know. Well,
know?
that's just what I'm asking. What do you know? I mean, you know this one, and it was worth it.
Not
But
much.
we're always open
Yeah,
to
I mean,
learning.
it's like even the most knowledgeable person on earth knows less than 1% of all
Boy, you sound like
knowledge.
a real nerd right there. That
Fuck, man. In other words, I'm telling you, we're all
Okay,
dumbasses. Okay,
thanks,
every one of
thanks,
us.
Dave. Oh, sorry, guys, gotta leave it there. What a jerk. All right, Catch you
Even
next time.
Einstein was even Einstein.